Uber's new Pro mode just came out today. I tested it and I got some numbers for you. Let me show you what I got. Hi, my name is Levi Spires, and this is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. The Daily Drive podcast is brought to you by GigU. I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I knew there was a new Pro mode coming out. And then another driver here in the city of Syracuse was like, hey, are you ramping up to get the diamond? And I was like, no. He's like, well, what about, better trips? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it much. Then it came out. I was like, well, it's here today. So I read the note and I wasn't really thinking too much about it. And then I saw a great video that I recommend you go watch. It's from Tristan at Future Rideshare Millionaire. He's one of my favorite Uber, Lyft, rideshare YouTubers out there. He really talks about money management, but he breaks this down perfect. So if you want a full breakdown on how Uber's new Pro Advantage mode, whether you should be blue, gold, platinum, or diamond, check it out. He does a really, really good job of that. What I did was I watched his video and I thought, well, I'm blue. I'm not a diamond driver. I'm at the bottom of the barrel. So let's go out and test it out. I didn't have all day to go Uber drive. Today was still kind of just a day in the office for me. So I went out to go get my car washed and I wanted to spend 2 or 3 hours Uber driving, and these are my results. So let me walk you through it here. Before I get into those notes too about what happened, let me give you some quick notes too that I found out. Number one, you already know this, but destination mode still sucks. Look at this trip here. I'm trying to get to the car wash and the trips they're giving me are going the exact opposite direction. So, and then it's like, we're going to threaten you. We're going to turn destination mode off. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And sure enough, they did. If I didn't accept that trip going the opposite direction I wanted to go, they turned it off. So there's that. Status, these new Pro statuses, is that I don't qualify for priority rides. At least that's what they tell me. Yet I still got a priority ride. Not sure if it's just a weird coincidence, but I still got a priority ride. And then lately, I haven't been seeing the timer on when I get to a stop and I have to wait for the person to come out. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to ever get paid wait time. I never said that I arrived. But after I dropped this person off, I had waited for a little bit of time. I did. I waited like 4 or 5 minutes. 2 of them were unpaid, and then the 2.5 minutes were paid. I got paid 28 cents a minute, $16 an hour, and it was a surge ride. So I don't know. Those are just some notes of what I did. What I did was I used the GigU app to take screenshots of all the offers that came in, and then I broke them all down into a spreadsheet. I actually was offered 41 different types of trips, from one reservation to, I don't know, umpteen different, I guess, exclusive offers, and then some trip radar ones. And I figured with this new mode, I should probably only take exclusive rides unless the trip radars blew me away. I took 4 of those 41 trips, one of them being the reservation, and I'll break that all down for you. The weird thing is my acceptance rate to start the day was at 6%, and at the end of the day, it was at 9%. I only took, 10% of the rides, so I guess I guess it goes up, so that makes sense a little bit, especially because I only took exclusive offers. I didn't take any trip radar. Revenue per mile that was offered to me was $1.12. I broke it down looking at the revenue per mile. So of all 41 trips, the average was $1.12. That could be good. That could be bad. The low was 53 cents per mile, but this is where it gets weird. Let me break this down for you here. It was surging. So I took my first trip, and then after that, I dropped that person off. I looked at the map. There were surges all around me. I wasn't in a surge, but within about a minute or two, I was going to be driving into a surge. And they gave me 5 trips over a period of 3 minutes, give or take. And each one of those 5 trips was horrible. They were all on the other side of town. They were 15 minutes away, if not longer. They were low fares. There was no surge to them, low ratings, multi-stops. And here I was just literally right there next to a surge zone. And I wanted to stay over on that part of town. Remember, I started at my house where you see the H on the map. And I wanted to stay in kind of like the southeast corner of the city of Syracuse near the car wash. But all the trips that were offered were way far away, so I wasn't going to take them unless they were just straight up bangers. But they were really like the worst rides. And so I started to get this feeling that, wow, maybe this new pro mode really does matter. And then, like Sergio and my friend Matt over at Drivers Coast to Coast and the rest of the team there, patience. I waited and I didn't get a banger. There were no bangers. There were no amazing trips, but I did take a pretty good trip. So my first ride was to get me into the city. It was like a $7 fare. Normally I wouldn't take it, but I was just trying to get the ball started and I was going to get my car washed. I didn't care too much. But the second trip, I waited for it and I got it. It was a pretty decent trip, as you can see. Then I accepted a reservation, which was amazing. A super short reservation right around the time I was going to be in the area. Perfect. I couldn't have been any better. And then I took ride number 3, which took me back toward the reservation, and then I took the reservation. So I took 4 trips. That's what it was. And then I went to go get my car wash. That's how the day went. It was like, again, it was just a couple of hours, but let me break it down for you this way, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on it. So my profit and loss was this. I earned $45.47. $2 of that was the tip for the reservation. The active time was 1 hour and 23 minutes. My active miles that I was on a trip was 32 miles. I'm not counting my deadhead miles because, again, I was trying to also navigate toward the car wash and stuff. So just 32 miles. My cost per mile is 30 cents. So my costs were $9. That means my profit was $35 and my profit per active hour was $25.76. Now this is like when school gets out and a lot of the college kids are on spring break at Syracuse University. So it's kind of a little slow time. So $25 an hour profitability, it could be a lot worse and it could be a lot better. So I'd say it's a middle of the road, especially for, a Thursday afternoon when school gets out. I know there's surges around that time. That's why I went out during that time. If I had the advantage mode, if I was at a 25% acceptance rate and I got that extra 5%, it would have paid me just a little bit more, but 6.1% more after expenses. See, the advantage mode pays you 5% more on the fare, but then after your expenses, it actually ended up being a little bit more. So it ended up being about 6.1%. But we know they can hide those numbers because there's no straight fare. So 5% on top of what? So I don't know if I believe that. I'm very cynical about it. Okay, so here's my final thoughts. Number 1, being patient, knowing your plan, your strategy, taking the approach that you want to take to the rides still matters. Unless the ride has a $30 surge, and like that reservation I got was absurd. It was really, really good. 5-star passenger going a mile and paying $11. But unless the ride is absurdly great, stick to your plan. Stay patient. Don't get suckered into the games that Uber wants to play. But this time I was looking and the rides were really bad, especially that one period. As soon as I dropped off my first ride, crappy ride after crappy ride after crappy ride. And I was like, well, I didn't, it was just not worth my time and effort. The 5%, assuming it is over and above the fare, could pay you more. I mean, just doing the simple math on this exercise here ends up being about $3,000 more after expenses for the year. So if you were to drive 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, and you're going to make $27 instead of $25 an hour after expenses, that's $3,000 more a year. Now, if you're doing 10 hours on the weekend, that's like $15 more on the weekend. So at $15, would you work for a $15 bonus for 10 hours? Probably not. So at like $1.50 per hour. So I don't know. I don't think the advantage mode 5% gets me going yet. I'd have to take a look at it, which leads me to my final thought. I was talking to Tristan, the future rideshare millionaire. We were talking on X, and I had this idea for an experiment, and let me know if you want me to do it. let me know in the comments. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the diamond mode. For a week or a 2-week time period, I'm just going to take all the rides I can and get the diamond mode. I'm going to lose money. In my mind, I feel like I'm losing money, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the diamond mode. And then on a Wednesday or a Thursday or whatever, from the hours of like 7 in the morning till 9 in the morning, I'm just going to not accept any rides. And I'm going to go park at a normal spot that I normally go to. And I'm just going to see all the offers that come in and say, here's kind of the baseline. I have a diamond. Here's what I get paid. And then I'm going to spend a whole week trying to lose my diamond status, go all the way back to blue. And then that same, let's say Thursday morning from 7 to 9, parked at, my secret spot. Then I go to that same spot again and then see what other rides come in and then compare the two. So diamond on one Thursday, then the very next week on the same Thursday from 7 to 9, blue. And just compare the offers and do some sort of statistical analysis. I'll get hundreds of offers. And so just even measuring the number of offers, because that's what they say. If you're not a pro, you're going to get, less offers. So my assumption would be if I'm a diamond, I'm going to get 200 really great high paying rides. Whereas if I'm blue, I'm only going to get 50 low paying rides. I don't know. I won't take any. I'll just measure it, see what it comes out to. Yeah, there you go. Are you excited about this new Uber Pro? I'm not. I'm very cynical about it. Drivers. Hey, I am cheering for you guys. I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. I want you to have some fun this year in 2026. And yeah, my name is Levi Spires. Thank you so much for watching. Be well. Bye.